A new study on coffee is getting a lot of attention, but what does it mean for you, whether you drink coffee or you don't? That's what we're going to talk about today. So you've probably heard about this study. I know I've been seeing it everywhere, but the study was published in JAMA and it looked at coffee drinkers and their rate of death. And we're going to get into a little bit about how the study worked and what they were looking for, and then I'm going to talk about what it really means for us. Before we get into everything though, I do want to acknowledge you might be seeing this cut here on my chest. One of the cats accidentally scratched me. It was pretty brutal, not gonna lie. There was a lot of blood. It's healing now, but I just wanted to point it out because I know if I don't, you're gonna be wondering like what's going on and what's this mark. So that's what that is. But as far as this study, what they did with the study is they looked at British people in the UK, and they looked at about 500,000 people over the course of 10 years. And what they were looking at was their coffee consumption and the rate of death in the group. And they were also looking at some different variations in caffeine metabolism to see if maybe different people who process caffeine a little bit differently, if that has some sort of impact. And also they included decaf and instant coffee in this as well, which is nice because not all studies do that or look at differences between those. So in the study, they followed these people over 10 years, looked at what they were doing, looked at the rate of death, and what they found was that the coffee drinkers had a lower death rate. So of course this is getting a lot of attention. Any study about coffee or any talk about coffee really gets a lot of attention, and I think it's because so many people drink coffee and so many people drink it every single day or even several cups a day. So anytime we get any sort of information about it, people want to know what's going on because it's a big part of a lot of people's lives. And I'll put some links to some different articles and things that talk about the study if you want to dig into this a little bit more on your own and read some more about it. But there are a few things that we need to remember when we're looking at the study. The first is that this was an observational study. So that means we're just looking at people and what they're doing and we're seeing what's happening. And there's no sort of controlled environment. So we're not taking like two groups, one control, one intervention, giving them an exact amount of this and making sure all the other variables are controlled and all of that kind of stuff. It's just looking at people, what they're doing, and then seeing what happens to them. So that's a weakness of this type of study. Also, this type of study is relying on people saying what they're doing, and no one drinks the same amount of coffee every single day. Even people who have a pretty steady routine, there's going to be some variation in there. I mean, at least you can get kind of a strong distinction between someone who never ever drinks coffee and someone who does, but when we're looking at the amounts as they go up, everyone is going to have some natural variation in there, and we're relying on them to say what they're doing and for it to be accurate and all that kind of stuff, because again, we're not locking people in a room or following them around to see what they're doing. Another thing to know about this study is that we can't get any sort of cause and effect out of this type of study. So this is not saying that coffee causes this result of having a lower death rate. It's just an association. When this happens, this other thing is also happening. And so it gives us some clues, but we have to keep going from here. It could be the coffee, but it could also be something else that coffee drinkers tend to do or tend to have in common. Now, they tried to control for other variables when they were doing the statistics and all that kind of stuff, with the data, but none of that stuff is perfect. And also there can be things that we're just not even thinking of or aren't aware of to even control for or to look at. So maybe it's the coffee, maybe it's something else that has to do with coffee drinkers and their habits, different factors, other factors that come into play in people's decisions and whether they drink coffee or not, and how much coffee they drink. All that kind of stuff. There could be other things going on. Maybe it's just the act of like drinking a cup of coffee, having some time, like downtime to yourself. Or people who drink coffee, do they tend to have it just, kind of as a quiet time and something to enjoy? Maybe that's the factor involved here. And there could be so many other things going on. So that's important to know. With all that said, one thing I find really interesting about this study is that they found that it didn't really matter if it was caffeinated coffee or decaf coffee. And that's a nice little clue, because it means that it's not necessarily the caffeine that's causing the positive impact here, if there is a cause and effect. So we don't know if there is, but if there is, it doesn't seem to to be the caffeine that's doing it. So then it's, you know, what else is it? There's so many different chemicals in coffee, just like all foods, and especially when we're talking about plant foods, different antioxidants and all these different things going on. So maybe it's one of those things. It just kind of gives us another clue as far as the direction to look at as we're looking more into coffee and its impact on health. So with all that said, what does that mean for you and me and our coffee drinking habits? Well, if you are not a coffee fan or you don't drink coffee for some other reason, this does not mean that you need to start drinking coffee. If you do drink coffee, this doesn't mean that you need to start drinking more coffee, okay? Coffee is not some sort of like life elixir that's going to make you live forever. It's not the key to fighting every disease or anything like that. No foods are magical. They're just food. They have different properties, and of course we're trying to learn more about them all the time, but no one food is the key to good health and longevity. So this does not mean that you need to start drinking coffee if you don't, or up your intake if you're already drinking it. Really, it's just another piece of information about another food. So if you like coffee, you know, keep on drinking it. If it's part of your routine, if it's something that you enjoy, go for it. If you don't drink coffee, then that's fine too. And really, it's about also paying attention to your own individual preferences, but also how coffee affects you. So if you find that, you know, maybe you're very sensitive to caffeine, and so maybe it makes you feel jittery or anxious if you drink too much coffee or drink a lot of coffee, that's not good. We don't want that, okay? So then, you know, take that personal information into account. Also, paying attention to how coffee affects your sleep. If you drink a lot of coffee, or maybe if you're having coffee late at night, and then that gets in the way of you getting the rest you need, then you're not gonna feel great. That's gonna impact your health too. So it's not like coffee is this magical, wonderful thing that we all need to have, or we need to have a lot of it. This is just like one piece of the puzzle. You take this information and then you work it in with all of the other factors involved, including how coffee affects you, your lifestyle, your routine, and also just whether you like it or you don't. I have to say though, I do find this study kind of interesting coming out just a few months after we had all of that hullabaloo with California and the regulations about, you know, putting labels on coffee or in coffee restaurants about coffee being a possible carcinogen and all of this stuff. I did a video about that if you missed it, or if you need a refresher on that, so I'll link it for you. But I just think it's funny to see how we have one story talking about that, like coffee's causing cancer, we need labels on this stuff, and then this coming out and people are like, coffee's gonna make you live forever, it's amazing. And I think it's kind of entertaining to see that happen. But at the same time, it does make me worry a little bit, because I know that that's, you know, just a perfect example of why people get so confused about nutrition and food and health, and they feel like no one knows what's going on, no one knows what's happening, because they see these reports, and obviously a lot of times this stuff gets overblown or overemphasized, that sort of thing. So then it can lead to that feeling of like, no one knows what's going on. What am I supposed to even be doing? How do I know what's good for me and what isn't? And it creates a lot of fear and confusion and frustration, which can lead to people thinking that I'm not gonna be concerned about nutrition or health at all, or it primes people to be vulnerable to different types of fad diets and scams and products and all of this kind of stuff, which doesn't really help you, could harm you, and at the very least could make you have a little less money in your bank account. So there's also that element here as well. So I just wanted to point that out and make a note of that. But I hope you liked this video and you found the information helpful. And if you happen to be new here and you want more healthy eating tips and nutrition info and videos like this one, then make sure that you subscribe, because eating healthy and living a healthy lifestyle really doesn't have to be complicated, and I want to show you how to do it. And if you want to watch some more videos, I have a couple linked over here that you might like. Thanks for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you next time.